Hey everybody, welcome to
Sockeytome.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sockeytome, where we connect people to people, even if it includes hotwifing. Hey, it's me, Dedo. I'm back here with Casey,
Hi, everyone.
and we are going to get into that whole new trend that seems to be taking the country by storm, at least in porn.
Oh, boy.
Hotwifing is a thing that's up and coming.
Hot wifing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell me about it.
I've seen it. I did not see it on the porn thing. That's not where it popped up for me. But, yeah. Apparently, guys let their wives do things with other guys.
I don't think that's really it.
Well, I mean, that's the start of it, I guess, right?
Well, I think it's more than that. I think it's an intimate thing with couples.
I agree. I think
It's
you
not
have to obviously have a very strong agreement, relationship, commitment to it.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's got the possibility to work wonders.
I agree. I could see how that could work.
I mean, it's like it's opening up the ability to be as free as you can, not feeling trapped, and a line of communication that has never really been open before.
Right. Together. Right.
Together, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not like you're going around cheating, but you get a sense of that freedom a little bit,
Right.
and you guys get to talk about it,
Yeah.
which will open up other things because the trust gets built.
Yes.
Right?
Makes sense.
I didn't even realize it was a trend like it is
I didn't either.
until you said it to me, and I'm like, yeah, I know what it is. Do you know what hotwifing is?
Yeah, hot wifing. You called it housewifing. It's
I know.
not housewifing.
That's a whole different thing.
A whole different thing.
That's what? Trad?
Yeah,
Trad
those
wife?
are the people that like the whole gender. Oh, I'm gonna cook, clean, do all that.
Yeah, we'll touch on that a
Yeah,
little bit
no.
later, but what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I mean, I can see if you're in the relationship that you have talked about all of it, and you're open and you're honest, and you can commit to that, and that's what you both want. I mean, I can see how it could be a good thing. It's not a terrible thing if you're all in agreement, obviously, which I think you have to be, right?
Well, yeah, it's hard to say. I guess if you go into it, you at least your first time, you have no idea how it's going to become.
Well, true. I mean, I guess, but even that, you've talked about it before you've gone into it and agreed that maybe it won't go as well as you think it's going to go.
Exactly, but you'll at least both know at that point.
Correct.
Because this is completely different than having an open relationship.
Yeah,
Because you do this together.
exactly.
It's like the other person is just a live sex toy. Really, that's what it is.
I know. It's funny to think about it that way. But yes. Yeah, the open relationship is probably even harder, I would think. I don't know.
The open relationship was a bad version of this.
Because you're
it kept
doing it on your own.
secrets. Yeah, it kept secrets and
So
started things. And it's like,
don't need to, if you don't tell somebody, they don't know. So who knows if they're really telling you everything.
Right.
So yeah, this at least the other person's involved in. It seems like it's something you're doing together as a couple as opposed to separately.
Right.
So I'm not against it.
and even if you guys talked about it and decided not to do it,
Right.
married couple decides not to do it,
Yeah.
that line of communication will still open up other types of communication and trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's a fucking great thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see that it could, well, I mean, I guess you could see that it could be a bad thing, but obviously these are things that people are both in agreement to. Where the open relationship, there's definitely more of a risk of misinterpretation. Oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, you were supposed to tell me, all those things. Where this, you're doing it together. How do you argue that?
you can't because you did it together.
Exactly.
And then nobody's at fault.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I guess, like you said, it could go bad. It could be like you didn't think it was like you thought it was going to be.
Absolutely.
And your partner thought it was better than they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I guess
and now
that
you can argue and fight because now you're like, well, I don't want to do it. Oh, man. Now you got, but if you can work through that, there's one more thing that you can work through. So who knows? I just find it funny because every time
Oh, boy.
I ever look at a porn site, it's always hotwife.
Really?
Yeah. And I never understood. I thought it was just a thing in porn.
Yeah, the article popped up randomly the other day.
Son of a gun, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
I personally think it's a great thing. I've already said that. I think, and it's much better than cuckolding, which is the newer, more modern form of cuckolding, because it was more like a dominance thing for cuckolds. And the guy would have to sit in a corner with his dick tied up like it just came from a bakery.
Oh my God.
And didn't get to do anything.
Bad.
He looked like Hannibal Lecter with a mask on and stuff.
It is a little odd.
Yeah, it's just like, what the hell?
Well, does it go the other way? Wives watch their husbands?
I don't see why it can't or shouldn't. But dudes are ugly.
Yeah, I mean, But so are some women. But yeah.
Well, that's true. That's a good
I mean,
point.
it could go either way on that side, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of funny to think about it that way. But you don't really read about that piece. It's really all the wives.
Well, why didn't we look up that?
It popped up like one
It's-
thing that said, hot husbanding, and it said it's not as frequent because it's hard to find guys that
Because
are,
we're ugly.
are that attractive,
We're all fat and hairy.
which is awful to think of.
I also don't think men and women actually view sex in the same way.
It's definitely viewed differently, I think, on each perspective, and I don't know that that means that you can't agree on things, but I don't know.
I don't know how to say this. I don't think women look at men the way men look at women. Like, we're talking about hot wifing.
Right.
And then we said hot husbands. There aren't any. I don't think you guys
There are
I don't think
hot husbands.
I don't think females look at males like they're hot. They don't. They look at him like he's funny, he works, he does this. And that's what
works?
you're attracted to, right? Not so men are superficial, basically is what I'm saying. We're
I
okay.
don't know.
Oh.
There's definitely an attraction with looks and things like that as well.
Of course there is, or else we wouldn't have the Ben Afflecks and Brad Pitts of the world.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
There are. I get it. But when you go look at any magazine, there's usually women all over it. Beautiful women.
True.
How many gorgeous men do you see anywhere? On like there's no male swimsuit issue. You know what I mean?
You're right. There's no male swimsuit issue.
Yeah, there's no Mr. America.
Is there? There might be. I feel like there is like a Mr. Universe or something, so
Well,
we
they
might
don't-
not want to go that far.
They don't broadcast it. Now there is beach volleyball for men, but it's not nearly as popular as women's beach volleyball.
because they're in bikinis.
That's my point to this.
I get it. I hear you. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's still definitely that attraction. I think you just don't see it as frequently. Don't they have like the fire calendars, the fireman calendars,
That's a
things like
solid
that?
point. Yes, but that's with a profession. I'm not
True.
looking at secretary calendars. Do you know what I mean? I'm not.
Good.
Oh, when's the new female attorney calendar come out?
Never know. It's coming out.
When is the new bank lady? The new librarian calendar.
True. Okay, I get you.
So, but
But-
that's what I'm saying. Women are more attracted to not necessarily physical looks and features, but more intelligence,
True.
security,
Right.
stuff like that. Now, there are features you're going to be attracted to,
Yeah.
but I could be a
Obviously.
big, fat, chubby guy, which I am,
Oh God.
with a sense of humor and generally just a nice overall affable appearance, and you might be attracted to me.
Possibly.
But you're not looking at me because I'm like chiseled from stone.
Unfortunately, you are not chiseled from stone at this point. So yeah, you couldn't pretend that.
No, I'm chiseled from a pear.
A pear.
I'm pear shaped.
Pear shaped. Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah, hot wifing, it's crazy because I feel like this should have happened a very long time ago.
Well, who knows? Maybe it did. We just aren't aware of it. It wasn't a talked
swear-
about thing.
I will go out on a limb and I'll say if it did, and it was a trend like this, and it was up and coming as fast as it is, divorce would have dropped.
I don't know. I mean, could you really think that would save a marriage? I don't think that saves things. Maybe makes things a little spicier, whatever, but I don't know that it's going to save something.
If you were ever put in that situation, would you do that? No?
Possibly, but I don't think that would save or ruin something. You already have to be on that level of trust and be okay with things in agreement in order to be at that point. And I don't see how that would save a marriage.
Well, let's face it, marriage stuck in a rut sometimes. I hate using that term.
Yeah, but it's not only sex. That's the issues. Usually.
Yes, there's a lot of things going on. And that's why this is becoming anybody that has been interviewed or asked about it or, willingly enough to reply to it
Right.
has said it's helped and saved their marriages.
Actually saved. Like helped. Okay.
Because everybody has
Changes things up and gives you something new. And it's definitely something you can do together, which is nice.
but like we were talking about earlier, it changes your way you speak to each other,
Correct.
which will start to change everything else around you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So basically it becomes a different way of looking at something.
Uh-huh.
Where it was always supposed to be taboo to have multiple sexual partners. Now you're doing this
True.
together. So it opens up different avenues and different things. And you can discuss things differently because now you're both looking at it more in the same direction.
Right.
Which is like giving somebody the longer the leash you give them, the closer they stay.
True.
So a lot of times people in relationships have wants and needs that they don't say.
Agree.
And because of that, that's when you end up getting stuck in a rut. You just do the same thing over and over. It becomes routine.
Uh-huh.
This is a little spark plug for both of you to do. I'm not saying you have to do it. You could just decide to go out and take art classes together too.
Right.
Probably the same thing. Right?
Maybe a little bit different, but yes.
But all in all, we all know that we're checking out other people, no matter what. You can say you don't do it, but you do. I do it. I do it all the time.
Right.
And then you wonder sometimes about different stuff. And then you're like, and then you talk to people and they're talking about things they do. And you're like, why don't we do those things? And all that stuff. Because you don't speak to each other in a manner which is going to help you get to those points.
Right.
This is one of those things that breaks down a massive barrier in relationships and allows you to be able to talk to each other more openly, more honestly, more frankly. And then you begin to realize that you can do that with other things also. So everything begins to improve. Now,
It could also cause issues.
it can also cause issues. So,
Because one may not be as open, and they may even go along with it to try and make the other person happy.
but
You
that's
see that, oh, I'll do it. And then you get to that point,
so
and are they really going to do it? And then it turns into a disaster. So,
you're in a rut. You're in a routine. You're both like tired of everything. You're not really getting along. It could be heading for divorce anyway. Most likely is, given the statistics that have been put out there.
right.
And people begin to start looking elsewhere for excitement and fun and stuff like that, right? So you're headed for a divorce most likely anyway, given the nature of the statistics only.
Right.
You're going to get divorced anyway. What do you got to lose at that point? What do you have to lose by not doing this?
Listen, I don't think bringing it up or talking about it is a terrible thing for anything. If it's something somebody really wants, especially, like if that's something you're looking to think about and do, and it's a fantasy you have, great.
First of all, if you really want it, if you're really trying to push this, and you push your partner into it,
Right.
you're gonna fail.
True.
You're gonna fail at it because you obviously already want it way more than you have the wrong intentions of this,
Agree.
right?
Yeah.
You have to have delicate conversations with your significant other
Yeah.
about it for a little bit to feel them out and just get those lines of communication open and going.
Yeah.
It's like building a river. It'll start as a trickle and then turn into a massive Mississippi.
Yeah.
And if you do it wrong, you'll ruin it all anyway. That's a lot of times where it comes from. But
I don't think I mean, I don't know the statistics on who's open to things, who's not.
I don't have any of that.
Exactly. So who knows? I mean, your partner may be very
Against it.
totally horrified that you even brought it up.
Right. Which
then
means, and if you want it, you have to start thinking about whether or not you've made the right person your partner for life. So these are some of the things that were never able to be talked about because they're so taboo.
Right. No, I know. Yeah.
And now I would go out on a limb and say that if you're in a marriage and it's not going all that well, if your option was to cheat, go out and cheat on your spouse,
Right.
you should do this first.
If your partner's willing.
No, bring it up.
Oh, bring it up first.
Not go out and
Okay, I
fulfill
see
the
what you
act,
mean.
but bring this up. You should bring this up first and then find out. Because instead of just going out there and doing it, you're going to ruin the marriage anyway. But if you bring it up, at least you have the opportunity to maybe not do that and still get some satisfaction for yourself out of this.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just think that a lot of people are not going to be as open to it and would be offended by it and maybe just take it as a... And going and cheating and doing something on your own is, again, different than doing what we discussed. This hot wifing thing. That is totally different than
I know it
cheating.
is. But if you're leaning toward that way in your relationship, this would be a better avenue to bring up first. Then at least if your spouse was not into it, did not want to do that,
Right.
now you can make a decision. You obviously know that this isn't going in a direction you would like it to. The responsible thing to do is file for divorce, get out, and go find somebody else. But you would be able to say to yourself, well, cheating, it's my only option now. Because you brought it up. And then you say, well, you don't want to do this? I'm going to go out there and do it myself. No.
That's not
bad.
the same thing, though.
That's bad advice. No, that was bad advice. It was a joke.
Like, no.
I don't see the harm in it. I don't see the harm in chatting about it, talking about it. Not pretending it doesn't exist is not a good idea.
Oh, I agree with that.
Right.
I mean, if it's something, especially if it's something, listen, it's not something every single couple is ever going to discuss.
I think it's something
just...
that every single couple should entertain at least.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
In fact, when you go to get married in a church, the priest should ask you about this stuff.
The priest should ask you.
Absolutely. He knows more than anybody else.
I think it might be against the priest's beliefs. Yeah, I mean, I think if it's something you guys want to talk about and get into, that's fine. I mean,
The other thing is,
everybody has their own thing.
in this day and age, right? We were talking about it, and you and I are both divorced, right?
Yes.
If we were married and we had to go to a picnic and your ex-husband was there,
Right.
it's basically the same thing as what would go on here.
Uh,
This is for recreation. You do this. You don't have to look at this guy weird, but it's just, it happened. It was a decision between the three of us.
well, isn't it about the other person watching?
Listen, I'm confusing the two stories. I want to make sure I'm clear on this because I'm not saying that we would do that with your ex-husband.
I was
I'm
like,
saying
wait, what?
you already had a relationship with your ex-husband,
Right.
right? And I had to go to a picnic with him, sit there at the table and eat cheeseburgers. It wouldn't be weird,
Well, no.
right?
Right.
So that would basically be what hot wifing would be.
It's a little bit of a downplay on that, I think. But, I mean, this is basically the husband watching the wife do this, right? A lot of times?
Yes,
Which is a different level of...
I get it. But afterwards, after everything's done, if you knew the person or if you hired them or whatever, I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
I know there's websites for it, and then you can hire like porn stars to come over and do that.
You could hire porn stars?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 different major sites.
Really?
Yeah, where you can just hire somebody. They're regional, so wherever you are, they've got people.
Wow. Okay. They just come on over?
Yeah. I don't know. Apparently, though. Apparently, they come over. They're all hopped up on Viagra.
Old school? I'm here for the gangbang.
True love is when you take the direct flight home at 2 p.m. and find a bunch of naked people in your closet.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Hiring a porn star.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could hire them.
You can. Yeah. And I think there's all different categories of it, too.
But it's like a connection, not a hiring. You're not paying the person.
But
Correct? I would hope. You can't legally put it out there that you want to be paid for it.
I have no idea. I don't know. They might charge a member. I don't know. I didn't look into this. I know nothing
Maybe
about
there's
it.
membership fees to the sites or something like that is what you're saying?
I got this out of the articles I was reading about hot wifing.
Right. Okay.
And I don't know how it works. But
Okay.
if there's a membership, which I would assume there is, the website pays them.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I have no idea.
Huh.
They've legalized gambling. Why can't they legalize sex like this? Like, what the hell?
These are a little different.
What kind of world
I
are we living in at
don't
this point?
necessarily understand certain laws, though. I mean, you want to sell yourself for certain things. I don't really know why people care, but whatever.
Hey, OnlyFans is making a killing.
Exactly, and that's not considered prostitution.
Well, they're not actually having sex with each other. They're just putting stuff out there.
True. Yeah, even so, some of the laws I don't really get. Not that I'm by any means looking to go do that, so please just make that very clear.
I know. I just thought this was fascinating.
This is not something I'm like, oh, I want to go do that.
After you get divorced, you have not a lot to do. So porn,
Not a lot to do.
porn becomes a vital little tool that you might need.
Oh, yeah?
And I noticed hot wifing all the time. And I was like, wow, let's go. Good, whatever. This is neat. And I would watch it a lot. I did not know it was a trend. Had no idea.
Okay.
And now here we are talking about it on the podcast.
Whole article that popped up.
Yeah, which I'm glad you brought it up. Because now I'm in. I take that
Now
back.
you're into it? I think you may have just said you kind of were.
Well, I would probably do it. If it worked out with my spouse,
Right.
I would probably do it. I'd entertain it. Because I know where I was in my marriage. And I know what I did.
Yeah.
And maybe if I thought about this. But I would probably entertain it.
Okay.
Who knows? That's just me, though. I also think everybody should have sex anyway.
Yeah, you've got
Just
a
once.
weird... I shouldn't say weird. You've got a different take on all that. I don't really necessarily understand it.
Just get that question mark out of the way.
Yeah, see, I don't have that question mark for everybody I meet, so it's not really a thing I have to think about.
Maybe not at first, but sometimes it happens. That's what I'm just saying. Everybody should just do it. Get out of the way.
But it could also really complicate things in a lot of ways as well.
Not if it was accepted.
There's so many different factors to that. I don't think that you can say that as a broad statement. That,
Oh, I thought you meant a
that
girl
gets
statement.
it off the table. Like, that doesn't... Yeah. No.
I don't. I mean, this all
It
boils.
invites a lot of things into your life that you may not want. Like...
This all boils down to personal preference and
Yeah.
personal decisions. Like, then are you going to tell anybody that you did it? Are you going to let it be known? Like people,
Right. No, I know.
Oh, they're swingers. Oh yeah, they swing.
Right.
First of all, let me say this about swingers.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I think way more people swing than you even think about.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like I would say, our parents.
Well, it's not even a thought in my head, but no, on my side. But
But I'm saying, like, I bet you more
I'm
people
sure you're right.
swing than you know.
Probably.
And some of them are just ones that say, hey, we do it. Then you got to be invited into like a secret society and this, that, the
So
third.
you have the pineapples outside their
You gotta have all
house.
weirdo lighting and shag carpeting and robes and lotions.
Oh God, so weird. When you think about that, it makes it like, oh, ew. Oh boy,
It's
how
funny.
did we become this topic today?
Because you picked it.
I
You picked it.
know
You sent it to me.
that,
You sent it to me. And I said, yeah. Or I said, maybe you sent me the article.
I sent you the article.
And I said, this should be a topic.
and here we are.
But you sent it to me.
Agree.
We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, agree. Okay, I
So-
will take the credit for this.
This is all your fault. I'm going to go sign up for one of them sites and see if I can be a participant.
Just so they'll call you to have them to have you come over.
Yeah, I'll be the third guy.
Are you
I'll
going
get
to
paid
be
for it.
the?
I got to make ends meet now.
Oh my God.
I got it.
What is the other person called? I wonder. Like, there's the hot wife.
The
and there's
third
the
wheel.
husband. Who's the guy?
The third wheel.
Or the other person? Third wheel is what
Yeah.
they're called?
What do we do afterwards? We go out to dinner? Like, how does this work?
Assuming they leave. I don't think you become best friends.
Well, that's what you pay a prostitute for anyway, isn't it? Just to leave afterwards.
But they're not being paid, is what
No,
we
I know.
discussed.
She's good.
But I would think in most cases it probably just goes away. I don't think you all hang out for the night after and have dinner
To
and
give them both a hug and
watch
kiss?
movies.
Like, oh, great night tonight. Hope you get aroused.
good
Oh,
times. I have no
what
idea.
the shit? What is this coming to?
I don't know.
Anyway, we're getting to the end.
Oh
All
boy.
right, guys. Listen, hot wife if you must.
Ha husbanding too, by the way.
Yeah, I want to look. I honestly want to look more into hot husbanding because I want to see if that's a thing. I'll definitely do that.
Good luck.
Why not? All right, everybody. Thanks for joining this week. Hope you guys had a good week. Check back in with us. Head over to Sockeytome.com and like and subscribe. And as always, guys, be good. Hey, everybody. It's Dedo. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Larry over at Legendary Graphics. He designed our logo for us. Came out fantastic. He does wraps. He does all kinds of customized stuff for you. If you get a chance, go to legendary.com. That's legendary.com. Check it out for anything you need. All right, guys. Thanks. Be good.
Sockeytome.
Hey, everybody. It's Dedo. Thanks for checking out our show today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to us. We can hook up, interact. You can tell us what you like about the show. Talk about what you don't like about the show. Give us information and insight. We'd appreciate it. We only want to make the show better for you guys. Also, if you get a chance, head over to sumassembly.net. That's our sponsor, and he could really use some business. All right? As always, everybody, be good.
Sockeytome.
Hot wifing.